Alright, boys, back in the video, today we're talking about if the Houston Rockets should trade their number 2 pick in the draft, because there's been a lot of speculation. Well, not necessarily a lot of speculation, but there's been a lot of talk about the Houston Rockets basically trying to trade their number 2 pick, or basically open to trading their number 2 pick. So what's up? My name is Jae'sean. You guys, video, dropping the below, press subscribe button, and let's get into the video. So I was scrolling on Instagram, on Twitter, like a few minutes ago, right before recording this audio, and I stumbled across a source on Twitter saying that basically the Houston Rockets are open to trading that pick. Now, I will say, that'd probably be a really stupid move from Rafael Stone to make a trade, because if we trade that pick, our future is basically gone unless we get someone like Luka Doncic or something like that. Because honestly, I wouldn't even trade that pick for Karl Anthony Towns, if being honest with you. So, if you do trade that pick, it'd be a really horrible move by Stone. Might as well just keep the pick and get someone like Jalen Green or Evan Mobley, who can give us some better upside than obviously people like Karl Anthony Towns. But obviously, if we're talking about someone like Luka Doncic, Trae Young, people like that, then honestly, I'm open to trading that pick to anyone. Even if it's for Zion, I mean, I'm not doing that pick for Zion, because as good as Zion is, I mean, he is 6'7" and 280 pounds, I want to say. So pretty overweight for someone that's 6'7". So I definitely wouldn't trade the pick for anyone other than a really good, really young star in this league, really young all-star slash superstar. So, just for the most part, I mean, there's a lot of options we can do with that pick. I mean, obviously trading the pick, probably the worst scenario possible for the number 2 pick. I mean, obviously we have the scenario of drafting someone, but we also have the scenario of either trading up or trading down in the draft, which is actually pretty interesting because Cade Cunningham, there's been a lot of reports saying that the Pistons are actually pretty interested in Jalen Green more than Cade Cunningham or Evan Mobley, either one of the two. So, assuming that they do get Jalen Green or Evan Mobley, we don't have to trade up in the draft. I mean, same thing with trading down. I mean, we don't really need to trade down because obviously number 2 is actually the second best thing in the draft right now. Obviously, being number 2, second best player in the draft, or basically like second best pick in the draft. So, there's no really need to trade down or trade up in the draft unless Cade Cunningham goes number 1. Then we should try to at least get number 1 or trade up in the draft, but probably not. But we definitely could see some movement by Rafael Stone with the other picks later in the draft with 23 and 24. I mean, obviously, we need some point guard depth off the bench with DJ Augustine probably being on his way out, maybe getting traded in the offseason for maybe a pick, maybe a young, maybe, I don't know, maybe like a young player that's not really that good, maybe a role player, maybe an old player, I don't know. But DJ Augustine, he's probably on his way out pretty soon. Same thing with probably like Cam Oliver and DJ Wilson. They're probably on their way out too. We're going to let them walk in free agency. DJ Wilson, he's a restricted free agent. Cam Oliver, he is on a 10-day, so we're probably going to let him walk. The only people I see on the bench really left are Sterling Brown, David Nwaba, either one of those two. KJ Martin, obviously, and probably Kyrie Thomas. I highly doubt we trade Kyrie Thomas because we signed him to a multi-year deal in the last, I want to say, like 10 games of the season. So we're probably not going to trade Kyrie Thomas. He's been actually really good for us, obviously, but, you know, I have a video for that if you guys want to check that out. So, we're probably not going to be trading our number 23 and 24 picks in the draft. We're probably going to go for someone like Day'Ron Sharpe off the bench. Now, people will say, like, obviously, like, there's no need to get a center if you guys get Evan Mobley off the bench, but I think we do need a really solid big man off the bench. I mean, as good as Cam Oliver and DJ Wilson are, I mean, we can get someone that's younger and possibly has more upside than the both of them in Day'Ron Sharpe. Now, I will say that we can get another guard with the 24th pick. I'm not really too sure who we'd get. I mean, Sharif Cooper, I've heard his name. He's actually been pretty okay, like from what I've seen. Like, he's actually been pretty good, but from what I heard, he is an undersized guard. I think standing at 6'2". I don't have my laptop pulled up with me right now, so I can't really pull up his stats or anything, but for the most part, I think he is a pretty undersized point guard from what I've seen. We just need another guard off the bench because honestly, I don't want DJ Wilson, not DJ Wilson. I don't want DJ Augustine on this team for too long. I mean, I think we are paying him 2 years to 12 million. I want to say with the player option, or I think it's I think it's a 1 year 12 million with the player option. So. I don't want to bring back DJ Augustine, man. He's 33. He's making a pretty fat contract for someone coming off the bench. So, yeah, I wouldn't bring him back. I mean, also, I forgot to mention that we also could resign Kelly Olynyk in the offseason if we decide to draft Jalen Green. Which honestly makes sense because if we draft Jalen Green, we're probably going to keep Christian Wood at the 5 for basically the rest of his time here in Houston. Resign Kelly Olynyk, probably bring back either Wilson or Cam Oliver in the offseason. Maybe it depends, man. I mean, if we really get Jalen Green, then we're probably going to be targeting Kelly Olynyk back in the offseason, which is something probably Rafael Stone would do because Kelly Olynyk loves it here in Houston. He said himself he likes it here. He actually been playing pretty well with us, but obviously it's because A, most of our team was injured, and B, no one really was handling the ball other than Kelly Olynyk when KPJ, John Wall, and Christian Wood were out for basically like the remainder of the second half of the season. So yeah, basically like Kelly Olynyk, as good as he was with us, I mean, he's probably not gonna be the same player he was when he was with the Houston Rockets in the second half of the season. Now I will say like maybe that's a bit of a stretch too. He can honestly become God and turn into Jesus in the next season or two, maybe, if he signs with the Houston Rockets. But if he's asking for 15 million a year, then I'm not giving to him at all, because Kelly Olynyk, 15 million dollars to come off the bench is just not worth it, man. So yeah, going back to the pick, man. I mean, the pick is really important for us, basically for our whole future, because the pick really will determine what happens with our roster in the next few years. So obviously drafting Jalen Green, we probably will be targeting a center, probably Kelly Olynyk, probably Day'Ron Sharpe. If you get Evan Mobley, we're probably gonna be targeting a guard in the draft. I don't know who, Sharif Cooper maybe, but I don't know. But in terms of overall, man, I mean, like, those two are really good picks, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, man. I wouldn't be mad with either of them, but obviously Evan Mobley for me, you guys know, there's a lot of haters in my comments from the last few videos, but I'm honestly fine with it, man. I mean, Evan Mobley, I have my opinions. I believe he's better than Jalen Green in the future. I believe Jalen Green is the better player right now, but I believe Evan Mobley is going to be a better fit, better player for the Houston Rockets in the future than Jalen Green. So that's the interview. If you guys have a video, drop me in the below, press the subscribe button, and I'm out. Peace.